Hi and welcome back to Awen-lutherie. Welcome to part 4 of my homemade to handmade build series, rebuilding this guitar. In this video we're going over making these walnut pickup rings, walnut pickguard, and these ash knobs for the guitar. And yeah, that's it. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoy it.
So I start the surrounds on the CNC. It's the best way to get accuracy and repeatability. That's simply it. I bought a small CNC a little while ago for a couple €100 and it's pretty much invaluable for work like this. It's also really relaxing, I think, to watch it work. In this video I have it sped up to 10 times speed, so in reality it takes a little while. Usually for each surround it takes about 18 minutes or so, which is fine for me. I'm not producing them on an industrial level just yet. See on the bed just behind the walnut as well, the outline of one of my logos. I do use this as well to cut out veneer logos to go on headstocks. Again, repeatability and accuracy. It would take me forever to do it by hand and I might not get it just the way I want, whereas the CNC with a sharp engraving bit does it in 3 or 4 minutes. You can see the other one just beside it there has a large gouge gone through the bottom portion of it. I'm not quite sure why that happens. It does happen every now and again. I think it's to do with the 0 point that I set on the machine itself. CNC is a very new concept to me, so I'm still getting used to it, trying to figure out exactly how it works. So this is how it is straight off the CNC. I leave a little gap just at the bottom just to keep it all together. And I found that this larger X-Acto blade with the chisel edge blade on it is the best way to separate it all. At some stage I'll have to invest in one of those CNCs that you just press a button and out pops parts. A magic one. Obviously there's going to be a fair bit of handwork involved in this. The CNCs are great for getting the basic shape, but it's the final touches that really make a handmade part. Does make pretty shavings. So this is just sandpaper double stick taped to a tile. I say double stick tape, I put down the masking tape and then I super glue the sandpaper to the tape. The tile keeps it all nice and flat, which is what I need for this. And then just hand shaping it, checking it constantly, make sure I keep the dimensions. I'm just cleaning off any hairy bits. I'm rolling around the corners here just to maintain the corners. There, I'm pointing out the gouge. And that one has that is the one that we just watched getting machined out, and that also had a small gouge in it. I think it is to do with the 0 point that I set on the machine. I need to get into the habit of setting it high up, because there it seems to dive below the level of the workpiece. You'll see later on, it's fine, I make do, but it's still something I need to figure out. Next, just clamping it in a vise so I can work the center pieces. You can see the little ridge that's left. The X-Acto blade didn't get it right up to the edge. I'm just tapping the file every now and again just to empty it, because the teeth do get full of the dust. Using a normal number 11 X-Acto blade here just to slightly chamfer the inside bits. Just it gives a cleaner finish. And you can see then the basic shape. So here we're just measuring out. I am making these tapered rings, so they're taller on the back end than they are at the front end. So measuring the front end from the bottom side, 3.5mm. This is the neck pickup, so it's going to be quite a bit shorter, and 6mm at the back. I do 2 dots just kind of for habit, really. They're not needed. As you can see here, I set my finger as a depth stop. Didn't need the second mark, but better to have it, I suppose. And connect it to, and that is the taper that I'll have. And remember here, one of the corners was chunked ever so slightly, so that's set to 7.25mm, and shortening the side with a bit of a chunk missing out of the corner. And then nobody will ever know that there is an error in the CNC. Just using this piece of scrap just to as a holder, really. Using super glue and masking tape then to stick down the pickup rings as they are. This super glue that I'm using it's quite old, and it's never was good stuff. You can see the cap on it there kept getting full, so I had to keep taking bits off, and absolute mess. I was pretty much about to throw it out here, but I said I'd get one more run out of it. It still holds fine, but it takes a long time to set. Even with accelerator, it'll take 15 to 20 seconds to set, which for super glue, quite a long time. Usually I don't think you'd ever use super glue in this fashion. There you go. You can see that it's marked out. And straight over to the spindle sander, belt sander. At this point I have ear defenders on, but I should have a mask on as well. You can see the dust that's getting kicked up. I do have an extractor on this at the moment as well, but there's still that amount of dust being kicked up, so I should be wearing a mask here. So I just sand up to the line, get the calipers, just double check that all four corners are different, checking that it's square and level. This is sped up, I think it's 3x, but even then less than 5 minutes is all this takes. It's a really, really quick process. Again, just because I'm sanded up to the mark, double check with the calipers. And that's it. Tapered. Next is, I always radius the top of them as well. It looks a bit nicer, I think. It looks more polished and refined. So I get the pencil here and I just scribble across the sides of the pickup rings, and then once all of it is sanded off, I know that it's fully radiused. I tried using the plane here to chamfer the edges. It did the job, but I wasn't too happy with it. It wasn't as clean as an effect as I wanted. While this looks like I'm flattening the radius I just put out, I'm not. I actually am holding it at an angle and chamfering the sides this way. It gives me a much nicer result. So this is just on the bottom edge, I believe. No, that wouldn't make sense. This is on the top edge to remove the sharp corner of it. This is for final sanding. So what was on the radius block and the tile was about 120 grit, and this is straight to 400 grit. Pretty much where I bring it up to for finishing. This is all done the same day, but the lighting is changing, which is strange. I keep saying I need to get LED lights installed. At the moment I'm using fluorescents in the workshop, and the video doesn't really like them very much. this is an acetone thinner, so I'm just using it just to clean off any of the dust that I just created on it. It's much easier to finish on a clean surface. I've had no problem with using the acetone before with regards to using tru-oil afterwards. I believe naphtha is the best, but I can't find it in Ireland. Not easily anyway. That's it. Done. I'm very happy with how they came out. Thank you very much for watching.